Hi everyone, welcome back to Brook Valley Life. Today, archery related. We're going to be talking arrows. We're going to be talking expensive arrows. We're going to be talking cheap arrows. And I'm going to give my opinion on somebody starting the sport. Do they want to go and splash out a lot of money for really expensive arrows? Or is there an alternative out there that will do them really, really well? And I just want to show how these cheaper arrows, I feel, will get them the results that they want. Also, big shout out to everybody who's subscribed to the channel. We're now over 1,000 subscribers, so thank you guys, and we'll carry on with the video. Please enjoy. Hi everyone, and welcome back, and hello again. So today, arrows. Do we need to spend a lot of money to get a good arrow? In my opinion, and remember this is just my opinion, it's a big no. Now, if we're talking arrows, the main company that comes to mind has to be Easton. Been around for a long time, and they do produce very, very good arrows. I've got a couple here. Now this is the most expensive one. This is the X10, barrel shaped, and by that I mean it's fatter in the middle here than it is at the ends. It's a thin arrow. These thin arrows are designed to fly through the air and through the wind, with one with less drag and two with less sideways motion in a strong wind. And if you put a nice heavy point on, yeah, it will fly down range really well. Very expensive though. Another Easton arrow here that I've used before is the Easton ACG. Again, great arrow. I use these because I had a few issues trying to tune my bow to my X10s. I always had troubles, don't know why. Went to these, thought, yeah, Easton, got to be a good arrow, and yes, they were. Now, how are both of these constructed? Now, they're an aluminium carbon arrow, both of them. Yep. Well, I haven't glued in these points on the X10s. But what you have is the shaft itself. Let me just show you. And you can just see on the end, it's carbon shaft around an aluminium tube. And it's a really good design. However, I've had a few issues where I've had arrows hitting arrows, and I've had arrows hitting other things than what they should. And what I've found is the carbon on the end, if you can see, come on, focus. Yeah, there we go. Starts coming away from the aluminium on the inside. As a non-sponsored archer, if I go through a set of these a year, I'm looking just for the shafts, 580 Australian dollars for 12. When I first bought these, first day I shot them, I Robin Hooded at the end one of these. I was lucky that the arrow that went in the back end wasn't damaged, but this, I think I've got it still somewhere I can show you. Yeah, written off. So from 12 arrows I was down to 11, just like that, just because I hit it. Would that have happened with any other arrow? Most probably, so I can't say it was the arrow's fault. And I was using pin knocks, and that they're designed so that doesn't happen. And a pin knock, well, let me just show you. This is on one of my ACGs. Just get that. Is there. Yep. And you can see this one's been hit before as well. Let me just turn that on, see if that'll work. There we go. So the pin fits in the end of the shaft, and the knock the knock. Come on, focus please. There we go. Goes on the end and is pushed on and is quite tight. Sorry for the unfocusedness. So yes, I always use pin knocks. I don't use push in or over or any of those things. So yeah, so these are the arrows. The ACGs. Give me 5 seconds. I will now go and get the price of everything. Back again. So price of these arrows. As I said, the X10s. A set of X10 shafts only, 580 Australian dollars. So you can convert that into wherever you are around the world. If you think about that in New Zealand, you could be looking anywhere possibly up to $600–700 just for a set of arrows. A lot of money. The ACEs, which are again thin arrows. These were the predecessors to the X10s. A set of them, 435 Australian dollars. The ACGs. Now these are slightly thicker. These are known as the 0.166 of an inch internal diameter. So where this goes in, yeah, it will be 0.166 of an inch. So a set of these things, 295 Australian dollars. That is at a tolerance, so a straightness of 0.002 thous of an inch. Very straight. Don't get me wrong, very good arrows, but I do find them a bit expensive. And unless you're really at the high level, do you need something like that? I say possibly not. Now, there are some brands that I've looked at and found. The first one that I found, because I was shooting the ACGs at the time, were a Victory arrow. Victory's from the United States, and they produce a 0.166 arrow. And here we go. Let me just see if I got this up right way. Called the VAP. Rip. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, VAP. Yeah, by Victory, as you can see there. These are the V1s, and you can see the 0.166 on there as well. Now these come in 3 different straightnesses. You've got these ones, which are 0.001, I believe, or 0.001 in straightness. So they're allegedly straighter than the ACGs. Now, if I was to get 12 shafts for this is the Elite, so the straightest one, 210 Australian dollars. They come in a gamer version, and luckily they're all color coded. These are 0.00, I'm going to get this wrong, 3, I believe. Straightness, doesn't say on there. And 12 of these, 190 Australian dollars. I always buy my arrows, or these arrows, from a place called Archery Supplies in Adelaide in Australia, from a guy called Stephen Han. Fantastic. Watch his channel. I'll try and put a link below to his channel. Yeah, really informative. Says what he thinks, which is great. And 0.006 is the V3s. Oh, sorry, the V6s. Hang on. They're V3s, I believe. Yeah, so the V on it, you've got the V1, 1 thou, the V3s, the green ones, the gamers, 0.003, and these are the sports, the red ones, 0.006. Now, as you can see, I've got all 3 and I've shot all 3, and I've found no difference between any of them. Great arrows, full carbon. They don't have any aluminium in them. Now, I know there are some places around the world where clubs don't like you shooting pure carbon arrows in case you miss and you can't find them. The aluminium or the Ali stroke carbons, the AC ones, they're easy to find with a metal detector, but these I've had some miss in strong winds and been able to find them easy enough with the points and the pins. So yeah, it's up to your club. Now these Victory arrows, they're all 0.166, so you can get points, different weight points, different weight, not different weight pins, but pins from different manufacturers. As long as they're 0.166, they will fit, and I will show some now. And here we have my tackle box, is the best way of putting it. We've got points for my 0.166 stuff, as you can see at the front. Here's my pins, pin knocks. Here's my points, and they go from 150 grain, 120, 110. However, they're break off points, and by break off points I mean I can break that off and take 10 grains, take that off and take 10 grains off, so I can take that point down to 90. Same with these, they're 120 grain when they've got both end bits on, take one off, 110, take one, 100, and these are the 150 grain points, and they'll go down to 130. So I'm covered across the board with those. We'll have a look at these others shortly, and here are the pins. Hopefully you can see that. They get glued in to the back, and yep, the knock fits on top. And I've got a couple of different brands. In fact, I was cheap and I bought some from AliExpress. In fact, I bought something like 100 for $10, and they work perfectly. So I would recommend, if you're starting out, definitely, if you want a really good arrow, look at the Victory VAPs. Just in the sports. In the sports, you're looking at $150 for a set of 12 shafts. Great. However, after about a year of shooting these, I noticed another set of arrows, or another brand of arrows, that Archery Supply sells, and that is these things. And yes, they're black and they all look the same, but these are called the Skylon. I believe they are Chinese, possibly. They're from a Korean design. And these are full carbon as well, but they're the same thickness as the X10s, so they're really thin. I think it's, oh, I'm not going to have a guess what they are, but they're the same thickness, full carbon. Use the same size points, same size pins. However, the price of these things, again, like the Victory, they come in 3 different straightnesses, and again, I can't find the difference between any of them. They have a 0.006, a 0.004, and a 0.0015. These are the 0.0015s, and these are called the Paragons. Fantastic arrow. I've tuned these to my bow, and I'm getting bare shafts going straight in with the flex shafts. So yeah, I've managed to tune these. Great arrow. However, a set of these Skylon Paragons for 12, 195 Australian dollars, compared to 580. Yep, if you're having to pay for your own, definitely worth looking at. They also do one that's even better, allegedly, than the Paragons. That's the Presiums, something like that, and they're $230. However, the 0.006 version, the Performers, $120 for 12. That's crazy cheap. Yes, you do need to get your points and your pins. and nocks, of course, and then fletch them. However, for $120 for 12 of these, for training and even in competition, great arrows. I would recommend somebody who wants to start in competition, who wants to do well and doesn't want a fatter arrow and wants some quality, is look at the Skylon or look at the Victory VAPs. And Victory do a lot of different types out there. They do a lot of hunting arrows and stuff like that. They do fat arrows for indoors. Same with Skylon. They do fat arrows, thin arrows, real cheap arrows as well, but they're very good. I will be running the Skylons though for my recurve shooting. That is for my long distance, 70 meters when I get back into that. I also use it short distance as well, 18, but I do have two bows up at the moment. I'm using Victories on one, Skylons on the other, and I'm just seeing the difference between the two. There's a poundage difference between both bows of about 2 to 4 pounds, somewhere around there. So we'll just see how they work. So taking everything into account, these arrows, you can spend a lot of money. If you've got the money, spend it. Easton X10s, fantastic arrows, don't get me wrong. The ACGs, great arrows. The ACEs, the ACCs, even the carbon ones, fantastic arrows from Easton. However, there are others out there. The reason why you see the Eastons a lot at the Olympics and the World Championships is because people get sponsored, they get given the arrows to shoot a lot of the time. If you're buying arrows and arrows and arrows, do you want to spend thousands of dollars, or do you want to spend a couple of hundred and get a really decent arrow that you can compete with the big boys? I know which I would want. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick look at different arrows, showing you the different prices, the different arrows themselves, and I'll keep shooting and I'll show you the difference between the two. I'll put links down below of where I got mine from, especially from archery supplies, and yeah, just have a look. You don't have to buy, you can make your own choices. This is just to show you there are others out there. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and if you want to see more of archery stuff, hit the subscribe, and I will continue going through, and I want to show how I can put a recurve bow together on the cheap but be competitive. So I'll catch you next time. You have a great day. Bye bye for now.